Hello YouTube, it's me Lay. It's been a while and I know I have no excuse. I haven't been very active on YouTube because of many reasons. I've been very busy with our small online business, and it's just the summer with children, so many activities, and we've been to places, summer breaks and all that. So anyways, I have been struggling to find this perfect journal. I know that a lot of you know that I've been doing the Hobonichi that I've actually neglected a lot. So since I've been very busy, I have totally neglected this Hobonichi journal of mine. And I feel very disappointed and sad because this is something that I truly did enjoy making. Although at times it was a bit stressful for me because, it's sometimes I feel like I have to, and instead of I want to, it became to a point where I felt like I have to. I was obliged to, log in into my Hobonichi for a day. So this was neglected. So this was May, and then as you can see, June, it was just total disaster. So there was nothing really. So nothing was going on anymore. And I'm sad. I'm truly sad because this is something that I really, truly enjoy. That's why I wanted to do something like this again, but I didn't want to feel, like what I said, I didn't want to feel pressure that I have to, buy dates, and I didn't want to do that. So I was on a search for a new notebook to use. And so I've ordered a couple from Amazon, which is the Stalogy, if that's how it's pronounced, and then the Midori notebook in A5. The thickness, I'm going to be just showing you guys. We're going to go through this, quickly because I don't want to make this video too long. This is the Hobonichi Techo and Cousin, but remember the AVIC is from January to June and then July to December. Remember, there's two notebooks. So this is the July and December. This one is the Stalogy notebook, the 365 days notebook, editor's series, and this one is the A5 Midori notebook. As you can see, the difference in its thickness, so obviously the middle one is the thickest of them all. My initial thoughts, I didn't want to go through every single thing, but I wanted to give you a brief comparison, as I promised on my Instagram. Hobonichi still will have, for me, has the smoothest, hands down, paper. Okay, it's just hands down. My brushes, my pens just glides. I mean, seriously. This paper is absolutely amazing. It's just so smooth. It makes any pen amazing on this type of paper. So this is the Zig Coquero, and it writes so smoothly on this smooth paper of the Hobonichi. This one I used the PH Martin, which is the Radiant Watercolor. Of course, we all know that it doesn't bleed, but you see very strong shadowing. Because the paper is thin, remember that your inks and your watercolors sets on top of the paper. The paper doesn't absorb that watercolor. So even though it is thin, it is very strong when it comes to your watercolor. It will not bleed on the other side. Unless otherwise, of course, maybe it still depends on the watercolor that you use, but I mean, I've used quite a few different products and I haven't had any issues when it comes to bleeding. But do not use dye inks if you stamp on your Hobonichi, or do not use alcohol markers, because that definitely will bleed into your Hobonichi. Okay, so this Hobonichi is still hands down the smoothest paper amongst the 3 notebooks. All right, the Midori would be my least favorite. Let me tell you why I don't like it. And again, this is just my opinion, and this is my observation. The paper is, initial thought was, wow, okay, the paper is much thicker. So I said, that's great. This comes with, I can say, a graph paper, I guess. It has a blue shade to it. Very light, very faint light blue. I can see this used as, I can see the bullet journalers can get a benefit from the graph or the boxes, because the boxes has a much bigger size than the Hobonichi. As you can see, the difference of their boxes. So this one is a much more bigger size. The paper has this yellow ivory tint to it, which I am not a very big fan of. I love my papers white. I love to see the colors of my inks and my markers just vibrant and popping off the page. So the yellow tone, the ivory tone, already turned me off, and probably it's my fault, because I probably didn't read, the description very well. I purchased the notebook from Amazon, and I will try to find the link and post it down below. When I used the watercolor, it took a while for the watercolor to dry. So it took a little bit of, I'm going to say about 1.5 minutes, even up to 2 minutes. And I used the same amount of water in my brush. I used the Pentel water brush pen, so that's what I used, and this is the watercolor that I used, and I believe that I used the same amount of water, in 3 notebooks. So the Midori took a while before, it's completely dried off. And the yellow ivory tone, I'm not a fan of that, and the paper is not very smooth, definitely not smooth like the Hobonichi, but it's good enough, I guess. If you want something, it depends on the pen that you're using. If you're using just a regular ballpoint pen, I guess it's gonna be good, because it's going to have a more grip, but if you're going to use it for drawings and watercoloring and brush letterings, you may want to use a much smoother paper than that. Let's just say that this is just a regular pen. I guess it's okay. I write so heavy. Look at that. But I mean, I'm just not a fan of it. So I don't foresee myself using this notebook. So I might give it to my daughter and she can use it as a journal. Last notebook, the Stalogy. If that's how you pronounce it, I'm so sorry if it's not pronounced that way, but this was also purchased from Amazon. Again, I will post a link down below to this notebook. This, my friend, has a sort of leather cover in the front. Of course, it's not going to be, I don't think it's leather, at least. I don't think so. It's just plain black, gray on the inside. It also has graph. And it's vaguely, it's not even there. I mean, and then on top of it, are months, as you can see there. I'm not sure if you can. I shouldn't say as you can see because I don't think that you can. It's very, very tiny. So, I mean, you can choose, if you're going to use it as a journal, then you can choose, for example, August, and then choose the day, because there's Monday till Sunday, and then 1 till 31. So I guess you can just circle the month, the day, and the date, and then log in your day, your journal. This paper is not as smooth as the Hobonichi, but it's definitely much, much smoother than the Midori. The paper, I can definitely say that this has the most widest, paper, which I truly, 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 truly love. It didn't have any problem with the watercolor at all. No bleed through. I should say that the Midori didn't have any bleed through also when it comes to the watercolor. So there was no bleed through using the watercolor, the same watercolor that I used in the other two. The drying time was absolutely amazing. It was so fast. I was very, very surprised. I was truly surprised because I thought that the Hobonichi would, beat just everything, both notebooks in every aspect, but this actually dried quicker than the Hobonichi. So I was very surprised about that. And no bleed through. I mean, really happy about that. There's no warping in the paper. Sometimes when I use my Hobonichi and I use quite a lot of, and then if I do a lot of watercoloring, the paper tends to warp a little. And so that was a turn off, and I didn't like that part, but there was no way around it. I guess I have some watercolor here that I can show you guys. As you can see, the paper becomes, I don't know, I don't like it when it warps the paper. It just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I don't prefer that one. So this one, since the paper is a little bit thicker than the Hobonichi, it didn't warp the paper, so I'm happy with that. So I think I'm going to enjoy using this, and I would definitely play around some more with watercolor, and I would do another updated video if I notice something different. And if it end up not actually warping also, I would definitely probably just post an updated description in the description box. But initial thoughts, there was no warping. The paper is much whiter, which I prefer. Smoothness, I'm gonna say on a scale of 1 to 10, if the Hobonichi is a 10 when it comes to just smooth, I'm going to say that the Stalogy Notebook is a 7.5 to an 8. Okay, so I know it just have a different, both uses Tomo River paper, but for some reason, of course, the Hobonichi is just hands down, man, it's just smooth. But this one, I like this notebook. I love that it doesn't have dates. Oh goodness, I'm already making it dirty. I love that it doesn't have dates, so I will not be pressured to log in every day. That's a very big plus for me. So yeah, I hope I didn't ramble too much. I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance if I did. I tried my best. But the winner of between the three, to me, not just the quality, but for what I need it for, I would say that I will be using the Stalogy Notebook this time instead of the Hobonichi. So I will be using this as a journal, and I will be doing some planning with this, some bullet journaling. I will try to do that. I will post another video of how I will set this up. I'm actually waiting for a Louis Vuitton desk agenda, so that will be the cover. That's the cover that I'll be using with this journal. So I will do another video on how I'm going to set this up, the notebook, and of course the agenda itself and the whole setup. So I'm very excited. And thank you for joining me. I hope that you picked up a few tips and tricks on this video today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you enjoy this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I do appreciate you. Until next one. Bye.